What is up, guys? Welcome in. My name is Nick and welcome to the channel. You join me today at Suzuka and we are behind the wheel of the Peugeot 308 touring car here in the Forza Touring Car lobby. And to start this one off, what we aren't doing is any form of qualifying. This is just some tyre research for me. It's been a while since I've been in the Peugeot and I remember it being very front tyre hungry. So I'm just running a few laps on the medium just to get a gauge of tyre wear. We put in two very consistent times to be the fastest in practice at 2:15.0, and as we come around to finish out the third lap here, you can see the tyres were just dropping into minor tyre wear now as well. So this is I'm going to go a bit of a different strat on this one. I don't think medium is the best, because for one of the stints you're going to be able to do 4 laps on it and it's just going to have no grip left at the end of it. So we're going to go hard soft. Obviously we're still chasing our 5k rating. We're at safety rating S now after the improvement last time, and we've gone up to 4761 in terms of skill rating, so looking to see if we can get that up to 5k as quick as possible. A relatively small group. This one's only going to be 12 cars in this lobby. This is just after the touring car switch over at midnight UK time for me, so this is the first run of the longer touring car races for this coming week. We get off the line relatively cleanly. We managed to close up on the run down to turn 1. We're not looking to make any sort of dangerous moves at this point. The main thing we want to do is get through as cleanly as possible, as quickly as possible, as we're going to be running a bit longer and faster tyres at the end of the race. We're just trying to avoid any potential time loss, basically. So we get through the S's, still nice and close on the back of it here. As we go through second parts of Degner, the Hyundai and the Civic are a lot slower than I was expecting them to be coming out the second part of the Degner turns. Hyundai goes to the left, so we go to the right to see if we can get the outside for the hairpin. There's a car already in the wall, so I'm not quite sure what happened there. The Civic avoids, we have to avoid, narrowly miss hitting the Hyundai. The Hyundai drives into the back of Civic. They both get out of shape. They are both slowed coming out of the hairpin, so we look to position ourselves around the outside with some good drive. Hyundai blocks me in, but that gives the Civic a free position around the outside, so I'm not sure that was the best decision for him. As we come into spoon, the Hyundai goes very deep, slides into the back of the Civic, regains composure, and then drives straight in front of me as well to block me off. So we're having a bit of struggle here trying to get past this guy in front at the moment, but we do get much better drive out of spoon on the run down to 140R, so we are freed up to P10. We get a good run through 130R here as we close down the gap to the Civic as well, and we put ourselves on the inside for the first part of the Casio triangle, breaking around the 100 board, leaving space on the left hand side here. Apparently the Civic wanted a little bit more than I gave him, so a little bit of door rubbing, but that was all fine. A good drive and a bit of toe gives me the opportunity to dive up the inside coming into turn 1 here. We pull out of the toe, cross the start finish line, and we are ahead coming into the corner. We brake nice and early, keeping the inside line, staying shallow. Again, a little bit of door banging, but nothing really affecting me or him. Not sure where he is, so we'll leave a car's width on the outside, but he has dropped back, so we've got that position done, and we're just looking to see if we can catch up to the cars in front. We take about a second out of the cars ahead of us, and we gap ourselves by about a second the cars behind. We have an Audi making an unforced error here, so that gives me a free position up to P8, which then becomes P7 as we pass the first of the pitters who pitted from the lead, presumably on soft tyres. So coming to the end of the third lap here, we're picking up the main people who are pitting early for get off the mediums to do a three lap and a 4 lap stint. End of lap 4, we are looking here. I'm just putting this one in mostly because this is the best I've ever actually managed to get around Spoon Corner. We get around here, and as you can see, we are going to get, as we power on here, the perfect 10 rating for the corner, which is the first time I think I've ever managed to do that. For some reason, Spoon never works well in my brain, so I'm pretty pleased with that one. We pick up our final medium tyre wearers here as we go up to P2 on track. So the last people going from doing the longest stint first and then the shortest stint second. Our tyres drop down to minimal to minor wear just as we enter the Degners, and that catches me out. Back of the car slips onto the gravel and we end up losing control. We narrowly avoid taking out the what's soon to be race lead as well, but that does unfortunately drop us down from P2 to P5. So this is really undoing most of the work that we've done by being on the harder tyres. As you can see, we are getting very, very close to moderate wear at this point as well. So coming through the Casio triangle, this is where I make the biggest mistake I should have made. We are going to go straight past the pit entry here. I should have pit for soft tyres to get 2 laps in that one. We are already going to lose these positions pitting, but now I'm just going to be on worse grip for an extra lap. So as you can see, we cross the line about a second behind the guy in front. As we go through the S's, you can see he is just walking away from me. He's already put nearly a second on that by the end of the S's. The guy behind is catching up as we get to Spoon. He's closed down about 2 seconds, so we've dropped a grand total of about 4 seconds through this lap. We're losing more time here as we understeer off the edge of Spoon Corner. The MG ahead of us is also having a little bit of issue, but you can see we're just struggling to get the grip down. So yeah, I really should have pitted a lap before, because we have just lost about 8 seconds or so losing it into the Degners, and then we've lost about another 5-6 seconds through the course of the lap. We get a little bit of a reprieve as one guy apparently absolutely messed it up coming into the entrance to the pit lane, so that is nice to see. But we're going to pit and do one fast lap on the softs here. I don't think we're going to be able to get anything out of it, but we will see what we can do. If you've made it this far, it'd be massive help for me if you are enjoying this. Drop me a like, leave me a comment. We are in the pit lane, so it's the time I also ask you to subscribe as well. As we come out of the pit lane, we're at P7 with just the guy behind us in the pit lane there. We were about 10 seconds behind, and we managed to close out to about 7 seconds by the end of the final lap from the guy ahead of us. But yeah, we will have to set him for P7. Based on timings, we probably could have got top 5, maybe even a 4 if we hadn't messed up Degners and we'd pit at the right time. So really my own fault on that one there. I've only really got myself to blame. As you see, we finished so if you take the about 12 seconds off, yeah, we would have been around P5. So that was really the potential for that race there. So a little bit annoying, but anyway, we shall move on. We're now off to VIR. We are once again in the Peugeot, and once again we have not qualified. Multiple reasons. Same thing with the tyres, starting on hards and going to softs, but also it's VIR. I hate turn 1 at VIR. It's always an issue generally in public lobbies. It doesn't really work. Always an issue generally. It's generally an issue in public lobbies. We set off from the grid here. We get a much better start than the Civic in front of us, who barely moves, so we make up 2 free positions off of the grid here, make that 3 positions as we go past the Subaru on the way down and the Astra there on the right hand side. Braking nice and early, we put ourselves around the outside. We've got a few people getting a bit up close and personal on the inside of the corner. All we're looking to do once again is get through this as cleanly as possible to minimise any potential time loss. Keeping ourselves on the inside. The Audi turns in very early for the corner here. I'm not sure if he got a clip from someone else, but he looks like he just turned in left to block me, and yeah, that was a bit weird. He was very early in that corner, but anyway, we didn't really lose too much time for it. We do make it up as we come through the beginning of the not quite very straight out of the first complex here as we get up to P6, at which point we are going to completely forget we need to brake for this corner. We just about get it slowed down enough where we don't get spun driving into the tyre wall, but we have a very, very slow accident there. We've got all the cars coming past us, so all the progress we made up to P6, we were looking pretty good. Now we're back down to last, but we do get a free position with a behind-eye losing control coming through up through the bit that I affectionately call the squiggly wiggly bit, which is very difficult to spot in the dark with no racing assists on, but that's why we do it, because it's fun and we like fun and it's pain. Anyway, sorry, there's a so we're up the inside of Lavore. We don't really want to do a move here. It's not really one you can do a manoeuvre in coming down that hill section there, so we get a little bit of my inconsequential contact, but nothing major. We cut back. I thought the Lavore was going to go deeper than he was. Most people do. He was still there, so we get a little bit of tap, but again, nothing major. We dart up the inside of the left-hander. Much more speed through the corner than he's got, and we're looking to see if we can get the move done around the outside. We brake, lock up a little bit as we come through the double right-hander, but we still managed to hold control, keep it on the track, get through the second of the cars here down the back straight, and we managed to get that move done up to P9. The Civic is very slow at the top of the hill, so we slide into the back of him a little bit, unfortunately. Not what I was planning to do, but he was a lot slower than I was expecting him to be. And again, we get put out with him losing control as well. Get a little bit of target fixation. Not the cleanest of laps, but we managed to get around the corner, so we're now up to P8. We have an Astra sliding off the hill. The downhill section there is very easy to do, and he comes diving back onto the track. He then outbrakes himself here. This is what I was expecting the Subaru to do last lap, so we get the position done there up to P7. So going pretty well considering we're on hard tyres. We're looking pretty strong in this one. We are right onto the back of this MG, and he's going a lot slower than I was expecting him to. We try the cut back, get a nice run out of the right hander to the back straight. We get in the back in terms of the toe. We have a look up the left hand side, but I don't think we're going to have the top end speed here needed to get the move done. He's pulling ahead a little bit. I don't really want to run into this fast left hander side by side, so I back out, give him the corner. We go nice and conservatively through here. I still think I've got a fair bit more grip than he has just based on this setup, and we're looking to just stay as close as we can through him. We're here coming into the beginning of lap 3. He gets basically stationary coming through that left-hander, and we're looking to see if we can get a run past him at some point, because he is struggling. He again misjudges his brakes, slides off there on that right-hander just after the downhill section. So we're up to P6, which make that P5 with pit stops there. We come around to the squiggly wiggly bit on lap 4 to find a Honda, getting the squiggly wiggly bits all wrong. He wiggled when he should have squiggled. So we are now up to P4. This is still on hard tyres. We've yet to pit, but we're looking pretty strong. Just at the back straight straight here, we've dropped down to minor tyre wear, so this is my signal that we're going to stop for softs for 2 quick laps here at the end. We've got about 14-second gap to the car behind, so it should be coming out pretty strong. Going for soft tyres. One final time, if you are to this point and we are liking the content, if you could drop me a like, leave me a comment and subscribe for more content in the future, that would massively help me out. Thank you for everyone who has done that so far. It is greatly appreciated. We joined the lap here and you see we've just about come out behind the Audi that was very close behind us. We do have P6 coming up the back straight here, so we put ourselves on the right hand side to give him space so we're not going slow on the racing line. It also gives us the inside line for the first corner, so we hold that position at P5 there. So we are P5 with 2 laps with some very quick tyres underneath us. I don't think we're going to get much more than 4th, but that's going to be pretty good considering we started 12th. So coming through here, you can see we are gaining on him basically a second through each sector here. We get a much better run through the fast left-hander on the fresh soft tyres. Even pitting, we are still looking to improve on our best lap. We put ourselves around the outside. He dives in front of me there, just about gets it stopped for the right-hander, and we're looking to see if we can sit in the toe. Once again, we're not going to be really close enough to get a move done into the fast left-hander at the top of the hill, so we're just going to back off, let him figure out what line he wants to do. He locks up a little bit, gets a little bit out of shape. We're just going to sit behind him and wait for him to give us the opportunity. Coming out of turn 1 here on the final lap, we have a look around the outside, not really much doing there. We're going to dive it up the inside for this double left-hander, and with just superior grip we managed to slide it up the inside there. He doesn't turn into us this time and we get that position done, so we are P4. Car ahead was about 16 seconds. We take a couple of seconds out of him on the final lap, but that is going to be the final position for us, P4 there, so pretty happy with that one. Much better than the first race, and hopefully we'll get a bit of an improvement to our rating. So you can see here we're pretty close to fastest lap on here. We've never really had a really clean run. We do get a very minor increase, 4,769, so I make that an increase of 8 skill rating. So can't really say if it was worth or not doing that, but anyway. I think just the smaller lobbies with a relatively low strength of field probably, but yeah, it's still an improvement. We didn't lose anything and I had fun doing it. The second race at VIR especially was pretty good. But yeah, thank you for watching that one, guys. It's been that was, as I say, a good one there in the touring cars. I do prefer the touring cars to the GTs. If you did enjoy this one, have a look at the first time we took out the Peugeot, where we get caught out once again with tyre wear at Suzuka as well. Do drop me a like, leave me a comment, and if you have enjoyed this, do please subscribe for plenty more videos in the future, and I will catch you in the next one. Cheers.